Something which I get asked about a lot is, Kasasara, is it possible to convert a Java Edition resource pack, which includes custom content from a custom content plugin like Nexo or CraftEngine, to Bedrock Edition, so my Bedrock Edition players are also able to see that custom content? And the answer to that question is simple. It is yes. That is very much possible. The problem though is that it is a gigantic hassle. Java and Bedrock resource packs do not work in the same way. If you want your Java custom content to show up on Bedrock Edition, you would have to manually map every single item, which is quite complicated, but most of all, very time consuming. Especially if you have like more than 5 custom items. So many server owners had to make the trade-off. Do I want Bedrock support with GeyserMC, or do I want custom content? And that is not a very fun choice to make, because in most cases, you want both. But what if I told you that some contributors who also work on Geyser are now working on a mod that, as soon as it's no longer experimental, is gonna make it very easy to convert Java custom content resource packs to Bedrock Edition. Currently, it is very unstable and broken, and also in very early development, but I thought it was immensely cool, so I want to show you what it's all about. Also, do be sure to double check if you're subbed to the channel. The vast majority of my daily viewers are not, so you may think you are, but you might not be in reality. If you could just double check, I would appreciate it so much. So the project is called Rainbow, and Rainbow is a client-side mod for Fabric, which allows you to generate a Geyser item mappings file and a Bedrock resource pack that can be used on Geyser servers that are using the custom item API version 2. I know that may all sound very complicated. It's quite easy to explain. Rainbow is a Fabric mod, and you can download it here on this page. Link can of course be found in the description down below. Now, something I do need to say is that currently the latest version of Rainbow is broken. The one that I'm going to be using here in this video is actually a version that was released on October 27, 2025, because it is the latest version that is not broken. Mojang simply changed something in 1.21.11, which broke the mod, and the developers have simply not yet taken those changes into consideration. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, it does work again, then you can just click here and download. But in this video, I'm using an older, self-compiled version. Then you also need to make sure you're running a version of Geyser that supports custom item API version 2. As far as I'm aware, the version of Geyser that you download from their own website or from places like Modrinf does not support this new API yet. To download it, you once again need to go to this page, then click on here, which will then take you to this page, and over here you can download the jar for your appropriate server. Then you want to install the Rainbow mod on your Fabric client, GeyserMC, which supports the custom item API version 2 on your server, and then you just regularly want to set your server up. So make sure to install Floodgate, install a custom items plugin like CraftEngine or Nexo, and then add some custom items of your own. So currently on my server, these are all the different plugins I have running. We got CraftEngine, then Geyser Spigot. This is the custom item API version 2 supported one, of course together with Floodgate, and I also have VIA version because this server is actually in version 1.21.10. The latest version of Minecraft right now is 1.21.11, and as you may know, Bedrock is always permanently in the latest version of Minecraft, so it needs VIA version installed on the server, otherwise the Bedrock client is not able to get on. Now when I type /CE, which is the default command for CraftEngine, you will see a menu opens with a whole bunch of custom items inside. These of course all work, they look great, but so sad that Bedrock Edition players are not able to see these. Now I also just booted a client where I have Rainbow installed. And what I can do now is type /Rainbow, and then we have a few different commands at our disposal. So the first thing we're gonna do is essentially create a new pack. To do that, we're gonna type /Rainbow create, and then I'm gonna call this one subscribe, because I would appreciate it a lot if you did. We press enter, there we go, new pack has been created. How nice. Next, we need to start scanning items, more specifically custom items. And there are 3 different ways to do this. If you type Rainbow map, it will map the item that you're currently holding. So if I do /CE and I then grab a random item, like for example the gunpowder block, there we go, we grab it. If I now hold it and I do Rainbow map, then this item will be mapped. It's just that easy. If you do /Rainbow map inventory, it will map all the items that you currently have in your inventory. But the most powerful one by far is Rainbow auto and then inventory. This will map every single item that will be seen by the client inside of an inventory. So what that means is as soon as I press enter, we can now do /CE. You can see by only opening the menu, it already mapped 3 items. And when when I now go and click on all items, bam, it's gonna map 45. Then we're gonna go to the next page. There we go, 36 more. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, we mapped everything. That's it. We're done. Now after that, we can do rainbow, auto, and then stop. And now, because we're done, we're gonna do /rainbow finish. Press enter, and there we go. The pack has been written to our disk. So you can simply click on this link, which will then open the folder where Rainbow saved everything. You can see the subscribe pack we just made, and there's a whole bunch of stuff inside. Now there are only two things you really need, and those are the Geyser mappings and the pack.zip. So what we're gonna do, the Geyser mappings.json file, that one you simply want to put inside of the custom mappings folder, which can be found inside of the Geyser Spigot config folder, which of course is located in plugins. Then after that, you need to copy pack.zip, and this one you want to upload to the packs folder, which is also located inside of the Geyser Spigot config folder in the plugins folder. Pretty straightforward so far, I would say. Now you just simply reboot your server. Now I'm simply gonna join the server on Bedrock Edition, where I just set all of this up. And when I do that, it will ask me to download a resource pack, which we're of course gonna do. And would you look at that? We're on the server. This is the server that my other account is currently also on. But when I now do /ce, which is the craft engine command, it's gonna open this menu, and you may notice something already. These are custom textures. We got topaz over here. Here we got a previous and next button. And when we click on all items, you can see that a significant portion of them actually work. Now, not all of them work. Some are very broken. And basically, for all of them, the names are broken. Like the name it gives is item default chessboard block. But the fact that some of these are showing up in the first place is already really impressive. Then on the next page, you can see even more shows up here. So many of them actually work. And that is so cool. Now, at this point in time, only items are supported. In terms of resource packs, items is everything that you see right here. All of these textures here, they can be considered items. But as soon as you place an item inside of Minecraft, it is no longer an item. It will need to be rendered, and it does no longer classify as an item. Something which is also good to know is that an item, so what you see here inside of an inventory, is not the same model as what you see in the overworld. Which basically means if I grab the chessboard block, then it will look like a chessboard block in my hand, because this is the item, but as soon as I want to place it down, you can see that it does not look like a chessboard block whatsoever, because now it is no longer an item, now it is just a block in the world. So when I say only items work currently, I mean that only stuff inside of your inventory works. With a very fun exception, which is armor, because for some reason, when I grab a full set of armor, I don't know why my skid is not working, just ignore that, but when I grab a full set of armor, you can see that it does actually show up. For some reason, the armor rendering works. Block rendering doesn't, armor rendering does. Very impressive. But things like furniture, for example, like this lamp, yeah, that one doesn't show. Actually, it doesn't show anything. Same thing goes for the sofa, that does not show up whatsoever. But the topaz sword, that one works perfectly fine, because it only is an item. So because of that, it works great. The elytra does not seem to render though. No elytra rendering, that one doesn't work. But the armor does. So that's pretty cool. Now I think you can see that this is still in very early development, with currently only items being supported, and not even all of them. Like some are still very broken, but most of them actually work. And as a proof of concept, that is awesome. Also, this was so easy to do. You can literally be done in 5 to 10 minutes. And bam, you just have a resource pack running where custom items show on Bedrock Edition. Now the GUI and items rendering in the overworld, that doesn't work yet, but that doesn't matter. Well, it does, but the proof of concept on its own is awesome, and I can't wait to see the future of this project, because converting resource packs with custom items from Java to Bedrock is something that the community has wanted for such a long time. And yes, it was always possible, but it was such a hassle and so time consuming. But now that some people at Geyser are actually working on a mod that will significantly simplify this process, that excites me a lot. And I really hope that in a few months or a few years, at some point in time, it is gonna be stable enough to work with maybe all items and blocks. I understand that things like GUIs and custom music discs and stuff like that will not work immediately, but just items and things rendering in the world, if that would work already, that would be such a big win. And maybe, finally, at some point, server owners no longer have to choose between either Bedrock support or custom content. They can just choose for both. And that would be epic. So definitely make sure to check out Rainbow. A link will of course be in the description down below. Maybe you can experiment with the project yourself a little bit, or even contribute to it to speed up its development. I don't know if they accept contributions, but you could always try. And with that being said, that's gonna be it for today. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel, join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. See you later. Bye bye.